ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Vobes show on the 30th of December 2018. Here I am, Richard Vobes, in the, well, I nearly said the studio. It's not, surely, it's not the studio. Surely? Clearly it's not the studio. It's back in my front room, as per ever, by my wonderful brick wall, with the fire. You can't see the fire, but it's actually blazing away behind me, my new little fire in there, blazing away, and which is why I'm now in shirt sleeves. And I'm roasting, ladies and gentlemen, roasting. I am roasting. It's very hot. It's very hot indeed. Now, I'm hoping tonight that we do not crash. We're live on Facebook, by the way. If you're watching on YouTube, it's not live on YouTube. It's a rerun. If you're watching at a different time than Friday, the 30th of November at 8 o'clock, then you're watching a rerun. This is the live version. And it's live for an hour until about 9 o'clock. And thereafter, click goes the lights, and I'm afraid I'm zonked out and ready for my snooze land. So there we go. Hello, people have arrived. Let's see who's there. Neil Gardner, Anne Evans, Nigel Sadler, Ian Beddoes, Wendy Wakelin is out there. Daniel Horton, hello, he says. Martin Snow, Anne Osborne, I think I said that. Nikki Jess, hello to you, Nikki. It's marvellous to see you. Dean Cooper, how do you do? Anne Osborne, Nigel said, Emily Champion, Terence Dacombe, Linda Kane. We've all come in for a Friday night, snuggled up by the fire. Hope that some of the warmth is actually going down the camera towards you. Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice. Cynthia Julian, good evening, Richard. Good evening, Cynthia. Nice to see you. I am warm, by the way, Cynthia. The house is finally warm. It's marvellous. And Tim Robinson, hello to you. Hello, everybody. It's very nice of you to join me. It's pretty grim out there. Pam Earnshaw and Soren. Hello, Soren Diegelman. Robert Crozer, nice to see you. I hope I got that right this time. Crozer, I've been told how to say it. Today's show is being fuelled, ladies and gentlemen, fuelled by a hot, steaming mug of Marmite drink. Marmite drink, yes. The lovely Julia doesn't like that, so it's a good job she's not here, because I can actually have a sip in peace and quiet. Delicious. Oh, yes. Very nice. And I can tell you it's even better because I heated it up on my new whistling kettle. I should have brought the whistling kettle into the studio so you could see it. I'll have to find a picture and whatever. But the new whistling kettle in there in my kitchen with the lovely Essie. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, yes, blessy the Essie, the new boiler. The new boiler has arrived, and Mr. Suggett very kindly is coming over at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and together we're going to fit the boiler to the side of my Essie Ironheart, and oh, lovely free hot water. Well, it's not quite free, is it? I'm still having to burn logs, but I'm not giving it to the big six, ladies and gentlemen. I am not giving all that electricity money to the big six. I am saving a bit of that. I'd rather give it to a local chap who grows wood and give it back to them for sustainable, rather than this dubious where the electricity comes. Who knows? And who's getting enough money to have big, expensive cars, houses and suits and all the rest of it from these big six? So I don't want anything to do with them. Thank you very much. Maya has joined us. Hello, Maya. It's very nice to see you. Kushti Phil is here. It's a happy Friday, by the way, says Daniel. Dave Baker, hello Dave. Good evening, Richard, he says. Good evening to you. Joe Smith, hello Joe. I'll see you on Sunday. I hope the weather's going to be nice. I was hoping to get up there and do another walk or something, or a little stroll down Sissinghurst. But I'm going up, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tractor Fest. This is in Biddenden, the Tractor Fest Awards. They're handing out awards to the some of the participants at Tractor Fest. And I'm going to be filming about 3.5 hours worth. Yeah, okay, so I may nod off a bit. I may forget to press the red button. But, you know, I'll do my best of people going, here we are, we award you the best nose, the best tractor blades, the best big tractor tyres, the best tractor engine, the best tractor treads. Oh, and of course, the best cleaned tractor, the best farmer standing next to his tractor, the best bit of soil that the tractor has actually travelled across, maybe the best tractor mechanic, maybe the best tractor tow bar. It's going on for 3.5 hours, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody, it seems, at the Tractor Fest is going to get something. So who knows what else they could be. The best GPS tractor, the best remote control tractor, the best old-fashioned, still going and just about puffing about tractor. Could be also the best, it's not a tractor, but it looks like a tractor. Could be one of those. Or who knows. Anyway, so I should be up there on Sunday. So nice to see you there, Joe. Thank you very much. Maya says it's a thin film on hot buttered toast. A thin film of Marmite, ladies and gentlemen. Hot buttered toast. Lovely. I like it thick, by the way. I like it thick on hot buttered toast. And also, I like Marmite on crumpets. On crumpets. It's very nice. Letting it ooze in. Ooze through the little holes. Shoot your mouth into the crumpets and gobble it. It's lovely. Really nice. I like that. Matthew Holdsworth has joined. Hello to you, sir. Lovely to see you. It's good to see Matthew there. Good evening, he says. Fiona Cooper. Hello, Fiona. Lovely to see you. That's very kind. Apparently, Fiona Cooper's house is now draining, actually, all the electricity. It's a good job I'm getting off the grid, basically, because it looks like Fiona Cooper and Dean Cooper are draining it so that they can have all the Christmas lights blazing. Never mind global warming. Never mind the ozone layer. Never mind the CO2 in the atmosphere. Never mind all that. As long as there's plenty of Christmas lights coming out of that neck of the woods in East Sussex where they're based, that'll be shut. You can see it, of course, from a satellite. If you happen to get up into a satellite, you go up to a satellite in a hot air balloon, and you get to a certain altitude, put on your mask, and then you do the space walk, not the time walk, but the space walk, get in, and then you get the old Hasselblad in there with its long lens, and you can focus down on the Fiona Cooper's house with all those blazing lights, ladies and gentlemen. It's all very nice. Joe Smith says it's to do with charities and local group donations. Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought we were all going to get a Haynes manual on how to repair and put together a tractor. I thought it was a bit of a quest, a bit like the Crystal Maze, where we give everybody a part of a tractor that's been stripped down, muddle them up, blindfold them, and they've got to see if they can feel about and go, oh yeah, that's obviously the big end of the exhaust pipe, or the manifold, or the marigold, or the mangold, part of a tractor, whatever it is. That's what I thought. Vicky Allen, hello Vicky, lovely to see you. Joe Smith is going, no dear, it's money, isn't it? It's money. We're giving money, all the money we raised, we're giving it to charity. So that's very nice. Anyway, it's very nice. I'm pleased to hear that. Very nice bit of money. Here we are. It's a bit of monopoly money. So when you're the boot and you don't have to go past jail to collect your 200 quid, you can go past go on the old Kent Road. Fiona Cooper says, blame Dean, nothing to do with me, about the house being turned into, oh blimey, can't see now. The thing is, though, will Father Christmas come? If your house is ablaze like that, if your house is so bright, how will he sneak in and fill up your tights? Sorry, not your tights, I beg your pardon. I meant your stockings, love. I meant your stockings. Daniel says, have you put your Christmas tree up, Richard? Happy Christmas. No, I haven't. I have a very small artificial Christmas tree, a little white artificial Christmas tree, which I've probably had for about 28 years. And every now and again it comes, well, every year, of course, every year at Easter, comes out, it sits like, it's only got one leg. Well, most trees only have one leg, to be honest with you. And it wobbles about, and I put it up for the day, and that's it. I bought last year, I think it was last year, no, 2 years ago, I went to the pound shop, and I bought a string of lights for £1 from the pound shop. And I put them on it. They worked lovely. And I rolled them up afterwards. I looked after them. I put them in a box, and I put them round the Christmas tree. And then Harriet, when I was going out with the lovely Harriet, she came down for Christmas, and I had the Christmas tree in the hallway, tiny little thing with this little string of lights. And Harriet will contest to this because she thought it was hilarious. I don't know why. I went in, I got through the door, and I said, wait, Harriet, wait. And she was there holding little Lola. And I ran in, and I went to turn on the lights. And blow me down, they didn't go on. And I got so annoyed. I got so frustrated. This is absolutely stone cold true. Harriet was standing there watching me getting incredible. We'd only just arrived back from Harriet Land, which was about 3.5 hours. And I was in a strop. And I've got this Christmas tree, and I went, you bloody stupid thing. And I threw it down in a bit of... I rarely get into a temper, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to think that I'm, you know, temper type of person. I'm not one of those at all. But I did have a bit of it, because I wanted to make an impression, you know, on my marvellous tree and my marvellous lights. And little Lola went galloping after the Christmas tree, chewed it up, and never worked again. So, yes, I have now a bit of a mangled Christmas tree. So, so in answer to your question, you did ask. It is, well, I ought to put it on the fire, to be honest, only it's plastic. So maybe I shall look for another tree. But I don't feel it right to buy one of these chopped off trees that have been grown just for Christmas. I know it's, you know, it is growing. It's people are growing a business and what have you. But you see, I know you're not allowed to say this. It's not PC, is it? But you do see a lot of pikeys. Oh, you're not allowed to say that, Mr. Vobes. Oh, this is such an un-PC programme. Oh, my goodness. Cover your ears, dear. We're in this PC world. You can't say pikeys because some pikeys may get upset. Anyway, you do see a few pikeys. Stop saying it. I'm sorry. You do see a few... nefarious people at the sides of roads flogging off Christmas trees, and you don't know where they've come from. You don't know which trees, which lorries they've been knocked off of or fallen off of. It's very naughty. Mr. Suggett has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Please give him a big round of applause. He is coming over to help the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi tomorrow fit the boiler to the Essie, which is going to be fantastic. Shirley Ward is also there, which is lovely to see you, Shirley. Thank you so much for coming along. Marmite and custard, lovely, says Cushty Phil. Marmite and custard, well, you know, each to their own. That's a bit of a strange thing. The biggest tractor ass, says Dan Thompson. Yeah, there are some very large tractors in this world, are there not? Lynn Bussey, hello Lynn, nice to see you, thanks for dropping by. Uh-oh, here we go. Dean is saying, I'm going to video the few I have up for you and the viewers, the decorations. Make sure you put the F aperture right down, and you better film at something like 500 ASA, shoot at about F22, shut the camera right down, because those lights, those laser displays of Father Christmas cavorting on your rooftop in laser light might be a bit too much, so be careful. Jo Smith is correcting me here. She says, Tractorfest is an annual event organised by volunteers who receive no remuneration. All proceeds are donated to local clubs, associations, societies, groups, amenities and registered charities. Thank you, Jo. You can chastise me on Sunday. I'm just saying, I'm just having a laugh. It's only, no need to get too serious. I'm just having a joke. People know it's a joke. They do know. They do know. If they don't know, woo-hoo, down the local laboratory and have a lobotomy. They honestly, they do know. It's just me having a joke. I know we're not judging the best tractor, the cleanest tractor, the muddiest tractor, the tractor with more slurry on it, the tractor that's gone through more cow pats, the tractor that's squashed more cows or little children. You know, I know we're not really doing that. It's just me joking. I'm just joking, Joe. It's just a joke, Joe. I'm just trying to sort of get over the fact that I've got to go up there on a Sunday and film it, Joe. For 3.5 blinking hours, Joe. No, calm down, Vobie. Calm down. I'm all right. I'm all right. I will enjoy it. I will enjoy it. I will. Through gritted teeth. No, not through gritted teeth. No, I will enjoy it. I will. I will. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're going to love it. So don't worry. I hope you're laughing at the other end and not sitting there seething, going, that bloody Richard Vobes, you can't say a thing to him. He brings it up in the Vobes show and then he sort of laughs about it. He treats it as if it's, I've worked so hard all my life. I've worked for Tractorfest and other events like that. And he's just made it sound like it's nothing. No, I realise that I'm not really doing that. We're having a quiet, it's just us and nobody else. So it's okay. So don't panic. John Berger has arrived. He saved the day. Thank goodness for that. Hello, John. Lovely to see you. Nigel Sadler is... I don't know what that sign is. It looks like you've got loads of yellow somethings. They look like chickens. What are they? Oh, it's a clap. Is it a clap? Is that what it is? Oh, there we are. He's clapping. Thanks very much. I wonder what the hell that was. It must be the old eyes. I've only got the one eye, you see. Henry David Allen says, do many Diddy Coys watch this show? I wouldn't worry. There we are. Not many Diddy Coys. Whatever a Diddy Coy is, let's hope they don't catch up. They're probably, all the Diddy Coys are probably still mourning Ken Dodd's death, aren't they? They're probably still round his grave planting tickle sticks, let's be fair, all over the place. Oh no, that'd be the Diddy Men. Sorry, not Diddy Coys. Anyway. Laura Riddle says, hello from me and Joe. Hello, Laura Riddle, from you and Joe. It's lovely to see you. Lynn Bussey is sending love, which is very nice. Thank you very much, Lynn. Mark Selwood has arrived. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. Thanks for putting those lovely pictures of you and Jess. You and that is somebody else. Nikki, that's his mistress. You and Nikki, I meant to say. John Berger says, the first words I hear when I got on the stream are Marmite and custard. Oh. That shows you how long it takes for me to see who's joined the stream. Both of which are typically send Yankees screaming in disgust. What a way to start the show. Well, I've got a mug of Marmite. Delish. Lovely. Richard Suggett says, I'm the muddiest tractor ever. Oh, there we are. You better come on Sunday. You'll get an award. Robert Crozer says, oh, good, another rant. Yes, they like it when I rant, don't they? I don't know why. The lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you? I would, lovely Julia, be wearing your wonderful, delightful and hilarious Christmas jumper. Only I made the mistake of lighting the fire, and now, whew, I'm boiling everything. My brains, my pants, my little toe, everything is boiled. You can see, says Robert Crozer, you can see them from Appleby Horse Fair every summer. I'm not worried. I'm not quite sure what you can see at the Appleby Horse Fair. I obviously didn't do my flies up. James DeWill has also arrived, as well as Peter Richardson. Hello, Peter Richardson. Do make a comment, Peter. I keep welcoming you, and if you made a comment, I haven't seen them. I apologise. I must catch up with whatever you... Have you still got that... it's not a Bentley, is it? That Rolls Royce. I know you've got we must go out for a trip in your Rolls Royce and make a video. That would be great. How about that? Can we do that? That would be marvellous. Let's go and do a trip. Where could we take the Rolls Royce on a trip, make a video? That'd be marvellous if you still got it. Or somewhere else. Nigel Sadler says, I'm still at work, but I have to admit that work is mostly consisting of joining you all and watching the Vobes. What other kind of work is there? I need the fan club. I need the... This is hard work for you. I do appreciate it's hard work watching the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. I get that. Mark Selwood says, thanks, Richard, for your welcome. You're very welcome, of course, Mark. Nice to see you. Marshite says that you don't like Marmite. I can't take it. This isn't... I'm not paid, by the way. I'm not paid by Marmite to... I like Bovril as well. I'll give Bovril just as much plug, or Vegemite, or Morrison's own brand. You know, they're all getting the free advertising at the moment. Laura Riddle's gone green with a yellow chin. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Robert Crosser says, Diddy Coys. Yeah, what the hell are Diddy Coys? Pikeys. Oh, is that what they are? Pikeys. All right, fair dues. Robert Crosser says, Romany types. Okay. Probably upset and mustn't know, because now that Julia has arrived, now we can't say that word. Pikeys, midgets, we can't say that. I shall get a slap. She is probably texting me now on my phone. I have to keep my phone nearby. I'll probably get a little message on my phone telling me to stop saying things like pikeys and midgets, because it's not right. So I apologise. Gypsies, tramps, thieves. Who sang that now? Gypsies, tramps and thieves. La 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 la. I think it was Michael Benteen and his potty. No, it wasn't him. There we are. The lovely Julia says, hello, checking in while I cool off. It's empty at the roller disco. Oh, Julia is watching, ladies and gentlemen, remotely on her lovely skates. On her roller skates, or her not roller blades, on her roller skates, not her inlines, they're outlines. I don't know what they're called. They're just not, it's not just the outline of the skates. No, it's not quite that. And she's having a rest, you see. She's just saying, she's puffed out. She's been going round and round in a circle, and she's tuned into the Vobie One. That is commitment, ladies and gentlemen. That is commitment You know, I mean, John Berger's still at work. No, it was Nigel. I nearly said Nigel Havers. Then Nigel Havers watches remotely. Of course, he doesn't like to say anything because you know he's a big fan. But Nigel Sadler, on the other side, he's actually at work going, "Oh, Vobes is on. Look, Vobes is on. Let's get a cup of Marmite and watch the old idiot." Cher, that's right. Cher, spelt C-H-E-R. Strange name. Cher, which should really be S-H, shouldn't it? Is it like Cher? Hello, Cher. Watch. I wonder if she got her name because everyone used to say, "Watcher, Watcher, Watcher. How are you, Watcher?" Must be how she got her name. And in the end, it's like when I was at my printing firm, when I left school at the age of 15. Yeah, I didn't get any of these GCSEs and didn't go to university or any. Yeah, what do you mean? It shows. Yeah, thanks. No, I didn't go. I left at school at 15. I had a hard upbringing. I had. It was really tough, my upbringing, because I was never allowed to go into the music lesson and I could never get to play the violins. Which is obviously a bit detrimental to the show now. But when I did go, when I left school, I went to work for a printing firm, and there was this bloke that used to come in and have badges printed. He had loads of badges, but everybody was called then to him. He would go, "All right then, all right then, hello then, how are you then, all right then, what you doing then?" "My name's not then, my name's Richard." "Oh, is it? It's Richard then." No, it's not Richard then, it's just Richard. It's Richard. "Oh, all right, Richard then. Oh, that's what I'll call you then." Everybody was then to him. Very strange man. Anyway, so that's how I reckon Cher got called. Watcher. Luckily, it wasn't the other bloke who was around. You know, Watcher then, Cher then. That would have been her name. Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves by Watcher then. Yeah. Anyway, Dan Thompson says, Vobes is paid by SE. Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? I've been talking about SE for a while. My SE is lovely, by the way. I recommend buying one, as long as you get one that comes as it should be. Just going to have another slurp. Delish. Right, where are we going? LOL, says the lovely Julia. She says, I miss everyone. Otherwise, poor little lovely Julia, stuck out there in the, you know, checking in remotely. Thank you very much, lovely Julia. Joe Smith also says Cher even. Robert Crosser says, my nana was Cher. What? No, I'd misread that. My nana was an Irish gypsy, the real thing. Oh, he's gonna, and that's why you call them diddly cots, or diddy coat, or did he call them that? I think he did call them that. James DeWill says, Julia's got on her skates. Yes, she knows what's good for her. It's gone off, says Mark McLeod. Hello, Mark McLeod. Has it gone off? What's gone off? You mean I've gone off? Yeah, I have gone off a little bit. I'm at work too, says Dan Thompson. What are you doing? What are you working on at the moment, Dan? Are you drawing something particularly interesting? He's a graphic artist, you know. Texas T-Bone. He's a graphic artist of some description. Mark Selwood says, Julia and Vobe addiction rather like me when I'm trying to watch Richard while having a nice meal at Nikki's house. What are you cooking at Nikki's house then, young Mark? What are you cooking? What are you cooking? Something? Are you cooking a traditional Cornish? Are you doing a Cornish pasty with custard and mincemeat separated at the end by an apple, or however it is? Nigel Sadler says, how did it go there in London today? Oh, yes, I'll get to London in a minute, Nigel. Good question. Very good question. Coming to that. Hang on, I'm just trying to get through these comments. I can skate, but I don't have my bowers anymore. Oh, have you got your bowels? That's all you need. Oh, hell's bowels. Richard Violin sounds like a cornet. Yeah, I just wish I had some ice cream to go in it. Lovely Julia says, I have purple skates. Surprise, surprise. Oh, really? Purple skates? Now, I would have said tangerine myself. Matthew Holdsworth is holding up a letter of apologies saying, sorry, everyone, had to pop out as we didn't have any curry powder. What do you mean, curry powder? Don't you get all those spices from the different parts of the world on the spice train? Don't you go and mix them up in the pestle and mortar, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and mix it up? You just get a bit of Sainsbury's curry powder. Here, love, we're having a curry tonight. I've got a bit of pork and I've got some curry powder. It's all right. It'll be lovely. Is that how it works? Is that how you do it? I'm sure it's very nice, Matthew, actually. I'm sure it's very nice. Ian Beddoe says, over 20 minutes with hardly a breath. Are you going on just a minute? Well, I keep repeating myself. I'm like the BBC, full of repeats. Mark Selwood says, me and Nikki must meet up with you and Julia soon. Yes, here. This is a funny thing. Because you went down to see Anne and Bob, who we love, Anne and Bob in Brighton. But you came all the way down to Brighton. Didn't think to come and have a look at... Hello, Mr. Vobes. Hello, Mr. Vobes. Didn't think to come and visit us, did you? We're only along a little bit. We would have come and seen you. Oh, yeah, we would have. You could have taken a nice selfie with us. They're only a tenner. Yeah, we could have given you some mementos. I've got a very nice mouse mat all the way from Cornwall I could have signed for you. Only 20 quid. Yeah, that would have made it. I've got to sort of save up some money now. I bought me Essie. You see, I was going to buy a drone, but I've tried putting propeller pads to the Essie, but it's too heavy to lift up. It's quite heavy. Plus the fact it doesn't help when it's so hot. You know, if it lands on some poor little sap's head and boils it, it's not so good, is it? Lovely Julia says, catch you all in a bit. I'm going back to the skate dance floor again because it's roller disco, you see. I guess discos is what, 70s? What would go 70s and 80s? What would be going on? What possible things could she be? Bananarama, probably. What's a Bananarama song? Oh, I'm not very good on music. Anyway, Krusty Phil says pork pie and a turnip. Oh yeah, I remember that. Bananarama did a good song about pork pie and a turnip. Pork pie and a turnip, ba-dum ba-dum. Pork pie and a turnip, ba-dum ba-dum. Pork pie and a turnip, 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 turnip. Turn it up with a turnip, turnip, turnip. Yeah. Must have those pills, actually, those calm me down pills. They are somewhere. I've got a nice big packet of calm me down pills. Nikki just says, so sorry we didn't come. We're so sorry we didn't come and visit you. We never thought, never crossed our mind. Never we come and sit on your forum every day. Never crossed our mind we come and visit you. No, we didn't even think. We thought, no, we're going to see Anne and Bob instead. They're much more prestigious, not pretentious, that came out wrong. Pretentious, oh, you know what I'm saying. No, curry powder is a crime in my household. Yeah, Richard Suggett, he's going to curry powder. So Matthew, don't invite us for a curry. I think we'll come up for a lasagna. I'm sure you can't get lasagna mix in a packet, can you? Or in a pot. You have to make that. What? Sorry, what are you saying? Oh, you can. You can get... Sorry. Eric is whispering to me. What? Oh, sorry, he's down there. Of course, he's in the basement. What do you say, Eric? That's right, sir. Oh, yes. Mark Selwood says, a week before Christmas, will you and Julia be free, Vobesy? I'm in London, hopefully again. No, actually, the lovely Julia and I are actually busy until, I think, Christmas 2025, actually. We have a very busy schedule of videos to make and wallpaper to look at. Yeah, we do a lot of wallpaper looking at when we're not making videos, actually. It's a research project we've got. How many sheets of wallpaper can we look at and be extremely busy so that Mark and Nikki can't come and see us? It's a new project. It has got government funding, actually. We get £1 every time we look at a piece of wallpaper that is a bit more interesting than a brick wall. So we haven't made a lot of money yet, as you can imagine. Matthew Holdsworth is out there, and he says in the early 90s, and I'm assuming he's talking about the 1990s, he says, you'd have seen me at Horsham Recreation Centre at the kids' roller disco when I was 10. In the early 1990s, let me think, I wasn't living in Horsham, so I wouldn't have seen you. I was living in Horsham in the late, well, from about 1968, I was living in Horsham until about 81. So that's when I was living in Horsham. I went to Forest Boys, thank you very much, where they used to beat me up and use me as a battering ram. And that bit's true. I think they did knock some sense into me. The school is still standing, but at night time when I'm asleep, I'm not. Yeah, but I would have liked to have seen you actually in the early 90s at the recreation centre at the kids' roller disco when you were 10. I would like to have seen that. Future town planner going around on roller discos going, you can't put a shed there. Oh no, that'll have to come down. I can just imagine, I can just picture you, Matthew, at 10 years old, writing letters to people and posting them on your roller skates, going up and down the road, saying, Have you got a license for that window? Oh no, you'll have to paint that door a different colour. I can just imagine it. I can see it now. He's gonna hit me when I next see him. Look at me. You know, what kind of a show is this? All my friends, I'm insulting, but only in jest, ladies and gentlemen. Only in Nicky jest. I'm only doing it in Nicky. Honestly, please don't take it very. Oh, there they go. They've all got, now I'm left all on my lonesome. No wonder I feel so lonely on my own. At the end of the show, when it's all finished and everyone's gone home, and I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs going, oh, it's just me. Nobody wants to visit me. No. Even Glenn Johnson came down. He stood by my car, didn't he? Has a nice selfie by my car. Click. Doesn't knock on my door and go, hello, Rich. How are you, mate? I've thought I'd come round and have a cup of tea. No, can't even be bothered to do that. It's outrageous. I'll just have a picture by his car and put it on his group. Oh, yeah, charming that is, I can tell you. Thanks very much. Poof, poof, you know, that hurts. That hurts so much. That's his car. You know, if I had a razor blade here right now, I might have a shave. I feel embarrassed. I haven't had a shave all day. Went to school. Oh, yes, Nigel asked. I think it was Nigel. Somebody asked, anyway, about the school. Yes, so today I was had my more serious duty, ladies and gentlemen, when I was patron of reading. Yes, there's a West London school that I attend, not because I can't read, you understand? No. It's because I once upon a time wrote a lovely book called Splidge the Cragflinger, and I attempted to write a few other books, which were very good, actually. Nobody's ever bought them, so nobody can actually say whether they were very good or not, if the truth is told. Anyway, so I wrote these, so I became patron of reading, and I'm there to inspire kids to read. And today I went in and we were looking at books, and I ran this workshop, because I don't know whether you've noticed, I'm quite into books, got a few books up on my shelves. And just excuse me whilst I go and fetch a book. Hello, what are you doing? I'm buying something. Oh, yeah, what is that? A book. Oh, yeah, good. I'm glad you've got a book. So, just a bit of free advertising now. So, I wrote a book called, well, blow me, I haven't actually, oh, hang on. Oh, Lordy. No, it wasn't called Lordy. It was called Splidge the Cragflinger, you see. And it's a, some of you have got it. It's a nice book. It's followed by, this is an early cover, not the final cover, The Purple Death. Actually, lovely Julia would like that. The Purple Death, very exciting. Oh my goodness, the adventures that go on in that. I wrote that with these fingers. Yeah, fancy. And then it's a trilogy. So the last one was called The Isle of Gid. You see, it all takes place on the land of Gud. And the Isle of Gid is attached to the land of Gud. And it's the, oh my goodness, that's even thicker book, that one. Very exciting story, that one. Got killer whales in it, it's got pirates in it, it's got the whole 9 yards. Then there's a book here called Murder by Ghost, but actually it's not really called Murder by Ghost, because this is an early version of it. It's actually called The Ghost Detective is what it's called. That is published and on Amazon if you fancy reading it. It even has reference to John George Haigh, the acid bath murderer, and his ghost in that book, which is quite fun. Then I followed that up. This is a Simon Pickle mystery. Simon Pickle is the character in there. He's only a young boy. And he has a story of The House of Ghosts, which is the second one, which I don't think that is ready to go, but it never got released because I got into the Bold Explorer stuff again. It's all very... It's all sort of about ghosts and stuff, that one. That's an earlier version. I was playing around with different titles on that. And then, of course... yes, I've got loads. Escape from Snod Hill, which is about these three orphans who they escape from Snod Hill. Snod Hill's the orphanage. And that's a very good book, actually, I have to say. Oh, it's funny. It's got Mrs. Slimebottom, who is the matron. And they have all sorts of adventures. And then there's the sequel, which I can't remember. I've kind of finished. No, I finished. Did I finish the sequel? Hang on a minute. Yeah, I had a number of them on the go, you see. I had a number of them on the go. There was one I had called James Bogg. Not James Bond, James Bogg. And he was wanting to be a spy after his... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we were running this workshop today, ladies and gentlemen, and we were talking. Let's find a book. Here we go. We were talking about the. We were analysing for these kids. They're only 7 and 8, and we were analysing what you find on a book, so it would help people. So it was like, where would you find the title? Where would you find the author? There's usually 3 places for a title and an author. So we were getting them to play detective. So they had to play detective, looking on the thing, and they would, on the front. What's that called? The cover. Yeah, that's right, called the cover. So you'd have the title and the name, and then you'd have on the title page, you would have a page on the inside, you know, murder by, well, on this one, murder by ghost. And it would be, and whatever. And then there would be on the spine. It's amazing how many kids, you know, like spine. Didn't know it was called a spine. They didn't know. So again, you did thing. Then we had to say where would you find the date when it's been published, and why is that important? So they would then go looking for the date at where it was published, and you get all the sort of info and publishers info and where that was. Anyway, we went through ISBN numbers and table of contents, index, a difference between a hardback and a softback, fact or fiction. Books, all that kind of. We had a lovely time. I ran 4 workshops in a day. Whew, I can tell you, I was absolutely knackered by the end of it. Let's have a look and see what people are saying. See if I'm still broadcasting, because you never know. It could have gone off halfway through this. Do you still have a left? Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Right, let's go back. I'm going back. I'm just going back through the messages now. So don't go away. A week before Christmas. So you read that, yeah. Very good singing, Richard. Thank you very much, Daniel. Can't remember what I was singing. Oh, was that the that was the Gypsies Thieves song? Right. Okay. Hang on a minute. Just don't panic. Have given myself a Tinkerbell glitter tattoo, ready for the fair tomorrow. Says Maya. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, as in face paints. Brilliant. So that's good. Dean says, you still haven't left an email with your address to send a Christmas card. Oh, I beg your pardon, Dean. I must have overlooked that. Send me another email. Just say, can I have your address or something? Just quickly do it, and I'll answer it immediately. I've obviously missed that one up. So Mark says, so you're free then? Yeah, no, that's right. I'm very busy. Matthew says, you left Horsham when I was born. Blimey. Don't age me like that. Don't age me. Matthew. Henry says, when I don't want someone to visit me, I say, sorry you can't come, I'm having my painting rehung. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. That's very good. When I don't want, I just read it. I'm having, oh, sorry, he's done it again. I can't come, I'm having my paintings. Oh, okay. Well, I went to roller disco once when I was 11 for a friend's party. Henry, I want to see you do one of your videos on your skates. Hello, thank you for joining me. Be hilarious. I'm not saying that you're no good at it. Just you know, it'd be great. Hello, thank you for joining me. This is an airport. There's a train station. It would be great. You could get through so much more, especially all that industrial stuff. Actually, you could get on your skate. Hello, thank you for joining me. On the railway track of the London to Brighton. And oh, there's a train. I'll grab on the back of that. Now, as you can see, we're passing Waterloo Station. And now we're passing Croydon. And then we're passing... It'd be fantastic. Wouldn't that be? You don't get Waterloo Station, I know, on the London to Brighton. Not from Victoria. I realise that. I know my mistake. I'm putting my hands up. I got it all wrong. But that would be funny. I think you should do that. That would be a laugh. So there we are. Get on with it. Mark Selwood. So is anyone else free for a visit by me and Nikki a week before Christmas? Oh, yes, that's it. Book yourself out with some others. Yes, I think Jane Ainsley up in Lancashire would appreciate a visit, actually. Good for you, Richard, says Robert Croser. Maya Alman says, ooh, we are trying to do a reading drive at the school at the moment. Oh, good. I wouldn't read. You see, they've already passed a law that you can't drive and operate a mobile phone. I think reading and driving is also not a good idea, because you'll be into the story like this. Oh, crikey. You know, you're bound to have accidents. You really are bound to have accidents. So I would be careful on that one. You never know. Must get the rest of the trilogy, says Matthew. Hope you read the first one. I hope it was all right. I mean, it was a bit... To be honest with you, my work is far too wordy. I've looked at it since. It's not great. It's far too wordy. It's not really designed for children, to be honest. I think it's more fun for the adults. It's quite... It's the good stories. Reasonably well written, but I think it's too wordy for the kids, to be honest with you. If anyone wants a copy of the book... Splidge the Cragfinger, Flinger. If anyone wants a copy, email me, richard@vobes.com, and I'll send you the audio book version with me reading it, and then you can, you know, get yourself to sleep. I think the lovely Julia had a copy. My God, she goes out like a light, apparently. She tells me, yeah, I had a good night's sleep. Put your book on last night. All right. I'm on chapter 2. Yeah. Still haven't got... I've been going through chapter 2 for 3 months. All right. Thanks, Julia. It's very kind. Joe Smith says, Split to Cragflinger, the Royal Tournament, Volume 1. And she's put an Amazon link. How kind. The Purple Death is also out there. The Purple Death is also a gripping adventure. Do you know, I mustn't talk about my books because I will want to get back and writing more. I've got so many ideas for books. I just do not have time to live. And it'd take a long time for me to get to do the writing. And, of course, the Bald Explorer is taking over. But I have got so many ideas. When I get Blood Oaks Valley done, oh, my, it's so good. And I've had this in my mind for... it's a corker. But, anyway. Mark McLeod says, aha, back and prove it, I'm here. What have I missed? You've missed so much, Mark McLeod. You've missed everything. Everything good that I did then when you weren't here. And now you've just got, you know, the remains of what we've got left. Nigel says, I knew you were prolific, but I hadn't realised that you were that prolific. Wow. Yes, and there's more. There are more. But I haven't got printed versions of them on my computer. Oh, the one I want to finish, and I just won't finish, is a book that I've called... Blues. I don't want anyone to nick the title because it's a great title. It's called. I'll tell you what it was about just briefly. It's about a family, but mainly the children, in a farm in 1940 in Sussex during the Battle of Britain, and it's about these kids. Their mother unfortunately gets killed by a Messerschmitt that kills her while she's hanging out the washing right at the beginning of the book. So you've got this farm with this husband who is affected by the death of his wife during the war. The war is going on, but we don't really do much with the war. It's more about the family and how they react to each other. And you've got this dysfunctional man who is trying to run a farm because he's now being told he's got to grow everything in land that's not suitable for stuff, and he's got the Ministry of Agriculture, the AGA, I think, what are they called? The AGA? Can't remember now, I did all the research. And then he gets lumbered with a land girl, and you think there's going to be a bit of romance between the land girl and the dad, and there isn't really, because of the age difference, because that would be too obvious. That'd be too obvious. And then you've got the central characters, and the central character is a little girl of about 12, and it all takes place with lots of adventures and the hardship, and they get because they're in the Sussex countryside, they're on the front line, you see, and they see the planes coming over, and it's all about farming and agriculture and all of that, and then they get the evacuees come in, and then there's a little gang of them in the end, and there's a posh one, and you know, the commoners and all of that, and the ignorant ones, and they, some of them times they don't go to school, and they're all having to chip in because dad's got this, he's overworked, and you know, they're doing all of things anyway. And so there is a plot as well, as that's the sort of situation. I don't want to tell you too much about the plot because that's, you know, that's until it's written properly. I got about 80%. I had it virtually plotted, and I had written about 80% of the book. It was just the last bits, which I knew what was going to happen. And then that was June last year, 2017. And then I started doing the Bald Explorer every day, and then I had to stop. Anyway, that book, it's a lovely title. It's called Blue Skies and Vapor Trails. And of course, it's because the planes are going overhead, and you've got the summer of 1940 was very nice. It was a nice summer, hence blue skies, and it was crisscrossed with all these vapor trails from the dogfights. So it's blue skies and vapor trails, but and it would make a beautiful film, of course. But you know, the thing is, none of it made any money. That's the bottom line was no one was buying it, no one was interested in it. You couldn't go and get things published. I sent my books off to publishers and to literary agents. Nobody wanted to know. And one person actually said to me, one literary agent said to me, he said, we get over 300 manuscripts a week over. And unless we can see one that will immediately sell, that doesn't need any work, we're not interested. And I've had so many slaps in my face in my career. Now, this isn't another violin thing, but I have, when I've tried to sell television ideas, and, you know, we had Snug and Cozy, and you're trying to get knocking on doors with other ideas and all that, and nobody's in. And you've seen the quality of my work, when some of it anyway, and nobody would entertain me, and you completely rejected. And so I turned to writing, and I was writing these stories, and then again you're getting these people saying no, bog off, and you get agents saying, well, I'll read it, send it in, and you send it in, you don't hear, and you go, did you read it? What was it? Anything? Nothing. You still get nothing back. And in the end, you just think it's so hard, it's so tough. And because people like the Bald Explorer stuff, and I just went with that, you know. But I would love to, but no, there's no money in writing, you know, unless you're so lucky. And I think people will hate me for it, but I think what's the woman's name who wrote the Harry Potter books, whatever her name is, I can't even remember her name. I think she was so lucky. She just happened to hit the right person. Somebody was going to hit the right person at the right time, and she did. And of course, much was made about how she was on the dole and all of that. And of course, loads of writers, loads of people are on the dole, sitting in their garrets, writing with no money coming. But much was made about how, you know, she was pregnant and all this sort of nonsense. She was just very lucky. And I haven't read the books. I deliberately didn't read the books, and I haven't seen the films. I wanted nothing to do with it, to be honest with you. And so I have my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and everybody's entitled to that. But you know, there's millions of writers still writing, and in the end, I thought, gosh, I was having some success with the Bald Explorer, so that's why I've followed that path. And I'm an entertainer of some note. But you know, it's always a struggle. Anyway, that's not a sob story. I'm just explaining how we got to that. But I would love to finish. What I'm trying to say is, I've got these ideas. I'd love to finish these books. I just don't have time. I really just don't have time. Let's go and carry on with what are we doing time-wise? Cool, blimey, time's nearly gone. I'm sorry we haven't got the gallery or anything in the show today. We are going to do a gallery show. Lovely Julia and I will probably do that next week. And we will go back through the gallery and show off those and pick them and do a gallery show. We haven't really worked out the format for that, other than we'll be showing the pictures, but we'll have a go. So Henry says he's going to give it a go on skates one day, which is great. Dave Baker says, hello, Glenn. Henry says, that said, today I was out making a video on an overgrown railway and I nearly tripped over a few times. Oh, brilliant. I would love to see that. I know you live a fair distance from me, Henry, but we will, at some point, combine up. It would be great to do a, hello, thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining me. A sort of the two Ronnies type thing. Obviously a bit more serious, because I know you're a serious man, really. Mark Silwood says, what, no skate sessions tonight, Julie? You're slipping without another another late skate. I can't read his writing. Emily Champion says he'll send you an invoice. Who will? Somebody will. Mark Garner. Hello, Mark. Long time no speak. Hope you're well. Tonight has been the best of the Bald Explorer. Oh, has it? I apologise. Vicky says you should do a 10-minute Jack Anori book read on the show. I could do that. Once upon a time in the land of Dingley Dell, when small creatures were small creatures and large... I'm paraphrasing a bit from the Hitchhiker's Guide then, weren't I? I didn't mean to do that. You could do... Anyway, I could do... I'd have to slow right down and do a quick... here we go. Chapter 9. Oh, this is one that's up for revision. This isn't even the proper end one. 500 years ago, so ran the inscription on the brass plate of the sarcophagus in the church, a captain by the name of Bartholomew struggled to prevent his slave ship Contraband from sinking during a frightful storm. He was returning from a raid on a faraway continent with his illegal cargo of human bodies. It's very difficult to read because I've got red lines and things all over it. I need to find one that hasn't. What about one from House of Ghosts? What's this one? There was silence then, wasn't it? Did you notice there was a moment of... There was almost like you could hear the brain going. I was just seeing if there was an interesting... None of it will make any sense, really. Chapter 17. I've no idea what this is. The bus arrived on time at 13 minutes past 2. Simon and Lucy were pleased to be on it and heading back to Dawdle. But their heads were beset with questions. The mystery became more complicated than they... The mystery became more complicated the more they explored it. They still didn't know who Fitch was, other than he was a butler. But they didn't know why he'd been engaged by Lord Rathbone, and why, after he'd murdered Lady Rathbone, he'd returned to the grave, dug up the body, and carted it away. Where had he taken it? Lucy peered out of the window, watching the hedgerows rush by, not really focusing on anything. Her mind wandered over the events of the past few days. Life in Dawdle had been calm until Simon arrived. Simon Pickle, you know, he's the main character in it. Anyway, that's whet your appetite, hasn't it? Yes, you can be out there to find out what happens in the House of Ghosts. Oh my goodness, it's exciting, I can tell you. What do the Aga do? What have I done? What do Aga do? Oh no, what have I done? Aga, it was the Agricultural Ministry, wasn't it? Working on behalf of the Agricultural Ministry. Don't you know the meet-up detail? Oh wait, Vicky Allen, we could have an ad break so we could get the Baileys and some Pringles from the kitchen. Oh yes, okay, it's time now for an ad break. Double Diamond works wonders, works wonders, works wonders. Double Diamond works wonders, so have one today. A Mars a day helps you work, rest. Oh yes, that was the other one. Pink Heads. I'd written a book, that was another of my books, Pink Heads, which is still on the computer, which was the story of Snug and Cozy, from the perspective of Emily, the little girl who finds them. And in the book, it's not like the TV series, a bit more in depth. It's a fascinating story, by the way. I haven't got time to tell you the whole thing, but there's a section in it where Snug and Cozy have learnt English, but they've learnt English only initially from the adverts. So when they land, they're trying to communicate with Lucy using bits of English that they've learned. So they're saying things like, a finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. And Lucy, who's 12, the book is set in 1996. It's set when the series came out on the telly. I wanted to just keep that thing. So in 1996, I had to find out what music people were listening, kids were listening to. I think that she listens to that Irish group. What's the name of that the girl Irish group? Oh, I can't remember the name. They were not the Nolans, not the Nolans. It was the other ones, the Yesens. I can't remember anyway. It was oh no, it's gone. Anyway, the point was, what was I saying? Oh yes, and so they were. So I was using all those advert because I realised that kids reading that today would not reference the 1990s because they weren't born there, and also they wouldn't reference the adverts of the time. There's no point in me saying that Snug and Cozy are trying to communicate with with Emily, saying things like, "Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back." Cozy, you slimping, it's not working. It's not working. Dull. Try a different one. But he drinks Carling Black Label. I was using so clearly I need to turn all these books and not aim them at children at all and aim them at adults. That's what I've got to do, because kids just don't reference these things. It's a huge learning curve. So, I may rewrite all of this in my dotage. I've got boxes of old scripts that I used to write when I was a kid, when I was in my teens and in later years. Lots of I used to write radio scripts for the radio. I had one called Corresponding Complications, and it was about this character. what was this? One was called Hallaby Jones, and the other one was something Perkins. And they ran the basis of this was they ran a detective agency by correspondence course. And the premise was they would solve crimes. Someone would come in, a bit like Sherlock Holmes, you know, someone would come in and write to them and say, oh, we've had a burglary and lady so-and-so, so-and-so's been murdered, and there's this ring has been stolen and this mysterious glove has been left on the bed, or something like that. And so what they would do in this radio play was go, yes, they would talk about the case, you know, and bring the case up, yes, and so what are we going to do? So they would then send that to learning how to be a detective by correspondence course and get the correspondents to solve the crime for their client. Clever, eh? Oh yeah. And that was a great premise, and I got about halfway through. I wasn't clever enough to write the script. I could probably do it better now, but I was in my early 20s, I think, when I wrote that sort of stuff, and I just didn't have enough worldly experience to do it properly. And of course, who does correspondence course? Well, they probably do, but now you'd use it on email and on text and phone. But this was back in the, you know, pre-internet days. Remember those days? Yeah. We'll definitely meet up in 2019, says Dave Henry, which is great. So that's very nice. Oh, you must tell you, I'm going to the Bluebell Railway on Sunday with my niece, says Maya. That sounds very nice. Christmas theme gallery photos would be good. Yes, we'll do that. Henry David says, it'll be a while until the video I made today is published. I'm making a series of videos on the old Leek to Stoke-on-Trent Railway, so I'll publish them when I've walked the whole line. Good idea. Look forward to that. Dean says you need a good book promoter. Don't waste your talent, Richard. I don't know that I actually have any talent, but there we are. I refer you back to my earlier a good read comment. I must have missed that one. That was lovely, Richard says. And everyone's a fruit nut. Oh, yes, everyone's a fruit and nutcase. Frank Muir. Good old Frank Muir, eh? La 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 la. Can't remember the words. Lovely, Anne. I'm still keeping my digits warm with the mitts. Yes, they're very nice mitts. Thank you. Emily Champion says, forgot to say we went on an English course this week, and we're coming up with writing for a picture. Managed to get the word moist into the sentence, and another teacher blasted out their coffee as soon as it was read out. Did you get clunch? You've got to get clunch in. I don't know if anyone picked it up, but I was talking to someone about a church, and it was in one of the videos, and he mentions the building material in the church. I forget which church it was, on one of the Bald Explorers, and he mentions clunch. And I had a private smirk on my face when he did it. He didn't realise why I was smiling, because he was talking about, oh yeah, clunch is a bit like this and blah blah blah, and I thought, oh, and I'm sure it's in one of the videos when he's talking about, and I can't remember. The cause, yes, thank you, that was the cause, yes. Something about something tell me I love you, or something. The cause, didn't they do that one? Something like that anyway. Little Mix, no, it wasn't Little Mix. Mark McLeod says Jackanory stuff read by late firelight crackling in the distance, something I've been working on myself, reading ghost stories. Oh, lovely, nice. Everybody loves a nice ghost story. Maya says, oh, Emily, trust you, I meant to read that out in our story but changed it. Sounds like a plan. Purcell green cap, Purcell red cap. Oh, that's an advert. The Spangles. Oh, yes, the Spangles. Thank you. Forgot about the Spangles. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel. Oh, yes, that's a good one. Papa Nicole. Love a bit of clunch. Dean Cooper says, there were no trains running on the Bluebell as far as I know. Check with George Timperley. He knows everything. That's true. We've come to the end of the show. Another exciting show of me just pontificating wildly about nothing in particular with a cold mug of Marmite. Yeah, it is cold. Never mind. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've just been sort of spouting rubbish and all of that for the last hour, but there you go. Normal service will come back. On Monday, the video on Monday, I'm running out of videos, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. The bad weather has prevented me from getting out. The business with the SE has prevented me from getting out. Today I was at school and it was a nice sunny day doing my teacher bit. And at the weekend, I was going to go out with Richard and do some videos, and it's going to be crap weather, so we're going to do the Essie instead. So I'm running out of videos, and I'm desperate to find some places inside to go and film because the weather's been so grim. So anyway, Monday, it's not me. It's not me, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be pleased to know the Monday video is the very lovely Paul Couchman, and he is cooking Christmas puddings Regency style. The video is virtually edited. It's looking pretty good. I've only got the end bit to do. I'll do that over the weekend. God knows what we'll be doing on Tuesday because I've run out of videos. So there you go. But anyway, hopefully something will pop up between now and then. So back on Monday in the morning with Paul Couchman. And then if you're very unlucky, I'll be live again on Facebook and on a rerun on YouTube on Monday evening. So thank you so much. It's been lovely. Have a super duper weekend, says Mark. Thank you, Daniel. Bye to you. Anna Osborne, very enjoyable show. Thank you very much. It's very kind. Good night, everybody. Video snuggles fitting in the boiler. Edit out the swearing. Yeah, we thought we might video some of the boiler putting together. I'm sure that will really enthrall people. I'm reliably informed it's now Santa's special on the Bluebell trains, says Dean. So there, but I don't know that Santa will be able to see it because he'll be passing your house and he'll be blinded, won't he, with all the lights and everything. But hey-ho. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. It's been absolutely lovely to have you. It's always great to do a show for you. You've been so welcoming. It's been very wonderful. Until the next time I see you, have a lovely weekend. From me to you, goodbye. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.